Greetings, Sister Witches and Amazons. I'm Lori, the Amazon Witchcrafter. So we're coming up on Ostara, and it's time to start your spring suit. If you haven't already done so, get out your Wee Moon calendar, start collecting images from your photo album, or grabbing them off Bing or Google and putting them into your template and getting those printed out. I do encourage you to keep meditating on each card and what it means to you, and get those meanings written down in your book of shadows. So when we think of spring, we think of, in the Amazon tradition anyway, we think of the air, the element of air. For us, it is the season of the maiden. The maiden is born at Ostara, and we honor and celebrate the element of air. And the element of air is honored through incense in the direction of the east on our altars. So before you can burn some incense, you need to make an incense burner. Now I like using clay. So I like, personally, I like things that match. So I like to make my altar sets small, so one, they're mobile. Two, so they don't take up so much room on the altar that I can't get other working elements onto the altar itself. So again, I make them in clay, but you can make incense burners out of simply a soda can that you cut off and fill it with sand, and that'll hold some incense if you don't have anything else. You can also use either clear or colored glass candle shelters, and you can even etch with etching compound that you can buy at Michael's or other craft stores. You can etch, paint on little goddess symbols or magical symbols and fill them with sand, and those will hold your cones and your sticks just fine. So any way you want to do it, I'll show you a couple of ways. So let's head on over to the workbench and get started. Actually, before we go to the work table, I want to show you another little altar set. This is the one my coven uses. So we've got the incense holder, the candle holder, the chalice, and the plate with birdseed in it. And of course, a goddess candle or a goddess statue in the middle, for she presides over everything we do. Okay, so this is the work table, and it's filled with all of the pieces that we're going to use today. The first thing that I want to say is that I got everything here at Michael's. So we're going to need some E6000 glue, some etching compound for glass, some food coloring just from the grocery store, some sparkle sand. I picked up this glass picture. This little candle holder will serve as our bowl. Picked up a glass plate, another glass candle holder, actually 3 of them that match. So this one will be our incense holder. This one is going to get glued on top of this candle holder, like so, to make a chalice. And this one will be our candle holder. Okay, I'll get started now. Okay, so the other thing you're going to need is a few little paint brushes and whatever stencil you would like to use. Now you can certainly paint this etching cream freehand if you're an artist. I gotta confess, I'm not that confident. So I am going to use this Sharpie marker and use my little stencil to sketch on or trace on a little goddess image. I don't know if you're going to be able to, if the camera's going to be able to pick this up or not, but it is certainly enough for me to be able to work with. Okay. First I'm going to trace her. Since I've decided to go ahead and do everything around her and leave her clear, I'm going to trace around her first and then really slather it on after I give myself some working room here. You don't have to do anything too detailed. You could do simple spirals, would be really pretty. Little pentagrams, pentacles, yeah. So that's a start, and I'm going to take a little break and I'll come back and show you when I'm all finished. Okay, so I've painted all the way around and left our little goddess image clear. And the package says to leave it on 1 to 4 minutes, depending on, the thickness of the glass you're doing and the depth of the etching you want to make. So I think this has been on here long enough, and you simply go wash it off. And so I'll do that now and clean up my brushes, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, while we're waiting for that etching compound, I've got another little project here that's directly related to the incense burner. Because it's just straight up glass, you don't want to, drop an incense cone in there and light it up. The heat may be too much for it. So I picked up a bottle of white sparkle sand, but then I was thinking, boy, I'd sure like it
to be able to change the colors of for the seasons. Now you could buy the sparkle sand in any color you want pretty much, but I don't want to use that much of it, so I just picked up a white one and I put a little bit in the bowl, and I did it a couple of days ago, and you can see that it's turned pretty yellow. I'd like it to be even more yellow, so I'm going to add a few more drops, and this is just straight up food coloring. I'm going to drop about 5 more drops in there, maybe 6 or 7. And I'm going to take a spoon and just kind of mush it around in there. You can see right away the sand is turning a darker yellow. I like that, especially for the spring season. I think I'm going to go ahead and make some red for when we change the altar colors to red in the summer, and make some that's blue for the fall to honor water, and some green for Yule in the winter season. I'm liking the way that turns out. And then I'll just change it out, put this, after I'm done with it, in my incense burner. I may even put it in the candle holder. I think that would be a really good idea too, to hold the candles. Then I'll just, put it in the baggie and save it for next year. Put it with my altar supplies. It's a real quick, fun way to change the colors on the altar. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so now here is the cleaned incense burner, and I don't think you'll be able to see it very well until I put some color into it, so it's another reason to have colored sand. Well, I still don't know if you'll be able to see it that well or not, but it's very pretty. Maybe if I push the sand away from it. You'd be able to see it better. Anyway, that's a fast, easy way to make an incense burner. Then let me just grab some incense. You can just stick a stick in like that. Or you can put a cone in, like so. It's going to be completely safe to burn that. All right, so that is it for right now. That's our incense burner, and as we move around the Wheel of the Year, we'll continue on with this glass set. So you all have a great day and happy witchcrafting.